You have to grab attention, and then you have to translate with plain language, and you have to never forget what it feels like to be a beginner. One of my favorite examples of instructional design in the movies is the 2015 film The Big Short. I remember watching it and just sitting up straight and wanting to cheer. I think I gave it a standing ovation in our living room. The movie is about some brilliant oddballs who foresaw the 2009 global financial crisis, but you cannot understand anything that happens if you don't first understand several foundational things about investment banking. And of course, most of us don't. They had an amazing story to tell, but to carry regular viewers along on this really complicated ride, they needed a really good teaching strategy. So, not very far into the movie, there's this insanely unexpected moment where they literally say,
"Here's Margot Robbie in a bubble bath to explain."
So the banks started filling these bonds with riskier and riskier mortgages. Thank you, Banjo. These risky mortgages are called subprime.
Later, we also get Selena Gomez in a casino explaining how investors basically bet on the outcomes of other investors' bets. And we get Chef Anthony Bourdain in a kitchen comparing bundled investment bonds to 3-day-old fish stew. It's super memorable and it's super effective. There are two powerful learning principles at play here. The first one is that shock and awe grab attention. Even when you're dealing with super dry and complex info, sometimes you can jolt people awake with something unexpected and outrageous. The Margot Robbie clip stacks multiple attention getters at the same time. First, we leave the narrator, who we'd already started to trust. They break the fourth wall, she's talking right to you. And then last of all, there's a naked celebrity in a bubble bath. The second learning principle is that plain language beats jargon. The bubble bath scene is set up by a wonderful line from Ryan Gosling's character who narrates the movie. He rattles off a bunch of financial terms and then he asks,
"Does it make you feel bored or stupid?" Well, it's supposed to. Wall Street loves to use confusing terms to make you think only they can do what they do. Or even better, for you just to leave them the alone.
And he is right. Some industries like finance and insurance, maybe academia, absolutely weaponize confusing language to maintain control. But I think that even well-meaning experts do this by accident, partly because it feels good to show off how smart you are, and partly because of what we call the curse of knowledge, which is just that once you've mastered something, your knowledge becomes like the air that you breathe. You can't remember what it was like to live outside of it, and it's hard to explain it to other people. And that's why experts often need help translating what they know. And that's one of the key roles of an instructional designer. Complex language is valuable, it's essential at the peak of expertise because precision really matters and you're talking about very nuanced things. But for beginners who are learning broad strokes, it only creates barriers to entry and understanding. In The Big Short, I feel like the filmmakers knew something that every instructional designer should. You cannot teach the complex if you lose people at the start. And that is true whether you are making a major motion picture or teaching a group of children or training a bunch of new employees at work. You have to grab attention, you have to translate the complex into plain language, and you have to never forget what it feels like to be a beginner.